Hello everybody, this is Tanushka Marit and I'll be presenting prediction using decision tree algorithm. I've been very glad to do this task as a part of my DSBA internship under the GRIP program by the TSF Foundation. So before we actually get started with decision tree algorithm, let's talk a bit about decision tree algorithm. It's basically like a supervised machine learning algorithm, which is used mostly like in classification and regression cases, but preferably in the classification ones. And as you can see in the figure, as I've just skipped to this figure page, is like a tree structured classifier where internal nodes, they represent what are the features of the data set, and all these branches, they refer to decision rules. And that's the reason these are called as, this is like one of the root node, and these are called the decision nodes, and they further branch out and it expands in the form of a subtree, and finally it enters into these leaf nodes. Leaf nodes are just like the output of any of your internal nodes, and this is how the decision rules on a yes, no, or based on certain conditions, it actually mimics human thinking, and that's the way how we can actually reach leaf nodes. And so it's actually called as decision tree classifier because it's like a graphical representation for possible solutions based on certain conditions to a given decision or to a given problem. So moving forward, let us just get started with the code. Here, as you can see in the just below, we've started it by importing the given libraries which are required. Import NumPy, Pandas, PyPlot, Seaborn, and datasets. And NumPy is good for your mathematical computations. Pandas for processing the data pre-processing or anything concerning the data frames. PyPlot for data visualization, and Seaborn for the graphical statistics. As we start with any predictive modeling algorithm, we'll first start with data preparation or the data pre-processing, in which I've imported the iris dataset. And this iris.head is shown, which is having these the columns as well as the given rows. Iris.info for having a brief overview about what the dataset is actually about. And I have defined another column, which is called species class, where I have denoted each of the species with a given number. I'm checking the value counts for both species class as well as species, and checking if they are both matched to 50. And the column is basically a list which is having 4 columns, which is excluding the species, as I would require these columns for my further processing. So let's get started with model preparation and building. So from sklearn.model selection, I have imported train test split, which actually helps me split the given data set into 2 parts, which is the training set and the testing set. I have a parameter grid where maximum depth and features have been actually shown, but this parameter grid will actually be used in the grid search CV. Grid search CV is basically a technique which is used for a hyperparameter tuning, which basically it helps you when choosing what are the optimum parameters or the criterion like max depth, max features, etc., which are the most optimum ones, and it automatically undergoes this cross-fold validation. It iterates over it and gives you the best possible parameters which will help you evaluate your model further. And so I have my dot fit, which is for X train as well as Y train. I use these statistics like best score, best estimator, all these kind of metrics in order to actually find out what's the best score and the best parameters. Like in this case, max depth is 4 and max features is 3. A train pair and test pair are those vectors which are defined, which will help me predict the results for the testing data set. I have this imported sklearn.metrics in the form of metrics for giving me a kind of classification report for a much clearer analysis. Finally, I come to the final decision tree, where I have instantiated the decision tree classifier with the given number of parameters, max depth, max features, as I had found out using this grid search CV. Finally, I show the actual value and the predicted value, and it's depicted in this table shown. I have used a confusion matrix, as you do have incorrect predictions made. So which are the true labels, which is the predicted value, which are the predicted labels, etc., just to give you a fair idea about the true labels and the predicted labels. Finally, a decision tree, a graphical representation, which is actually just helped a much clearer and an unambiguous view of how the decision tree actually looks like finally, and it's shown in this PNG image here. So thank you so much. This was the end of my work, and this is Tanushka signing off.